Right, let's settle this once and for all, shall we? When is the best time to start property investing? When prices are low? When interest rates are down? When you've saved enough? Or when the market's perfect? Nope, none of these. The best time to start property investing is when you are ready. And today, I'm going to tell you how to know when that is. Because spoiler alert, it's probably sooner than you think. Let's get into it. First, let's destroy this myth. I'm waiting for the market to crash so I can get cheap properties. Right, how's that working out for you? Now, here's the thing about timing the market. Nobody can do it. Not reliably, anyway. People have been saying the market's going to crash for the last 15 years. And yeah, there have been some dips. But if you've been waiting all that time, you'd have missed out on years of rental income, mortgage paydown, and capital growth. The best investors I know, they've bought when they were ready, regardless of what the market was doing. Prices high, they found better deals through harder work. Interest rates up, they adjusted their strategy. Market uncertainty, they moved forward carefully but consistently. Because here's the truth. In 20 years, when your mortgage is nearly paid off and you've got a property worth double what you paid, are you really going to care that you didn't time it perfectly? No. You're going to be glad you got started. There will always be reasons to wait. Always. The market's too high, the market's crashing, interest rates are wrong, there's an election, there's uncertainty. Now stop waiting for perfect. Perfect does not exist. Start when you're ready. So how do you know when you're ready? Well, the first sign, your personal finances are solid. That means you've cleared any high interest debt, credit cards, personal loans, all of that. You've got a proper emergency fund, so 3 to 6 months of expenses, give or take. You've got a deposit saved up, plus extra buffer for costs. Your income is stable and reliable, and you're living within your means. Now, if you're still getting those, your account is overdrawn texts from your bank, you're not ready yet. And that's okay. That's not forever. That's just not yet. But once you've got your financial house in order, once you're stable, you've got savings, you're not living paycheck to paycheck, that's when property becomes a realistic option. Because property amplifies whatever financial habits you already have. If you're organized and disciplined, property will reward that. If you're chaotic and stretched, property will punish that. And that's where I started. So get yourself sorted first. Build that foundation. And then, and this is the exciting part, you're ready to scale up through property. The second sign you're ready, you understand the basics. Now notice I said basics there, not everything. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to have read every book and watched every video, but you should understand how rental yields work, how mortgages work, what makes a good deal versus a bad one, the costs involved, the risks, the different strategies available. That's it. That's enough to get started. Can you look at a property and run the numbers to see if it works? Understand what a mortgage broker is telling you? You have an intelligent conversation with an estate agent without sounding completely clueless? If yes, you're ready enough. Always remember, you learn by doing. You can study property for 5 years and still not know what it's really like until you buy one. So yes, learn the fundamentals. Absolutely. That's important. But don't let learning become an excuse for never taking action. Once you understand the basics and you've got deals you can analyze, applications you can make, strategies you can execute, you're ready. Go do it. The rest you'll learn as you go, and that's totally fine. And the third sign you're ready, you found a deal that actually works. And I mean actually works. Not, oh, I think this might work. Oh, I think this might be okay. Works. A good deal means the numbers stack up properly, conservatively, realistically. You factored in all the costs. You've got a buffer for when things go wrong. The area is decent. There's tenant demand, and your mortgage is affordable. You'd still be okay if rent was 10% lower than expected. If you found a deal that ticks those boxes, that's your green light. That's the universe saying, okay, you've done your homework. Here's your opportunity. Because here what I see all the time. People ready to invest but looking at terrible deals because they're desperate to get started. Oh, this property barely breaks even, but I just really want to get going. No, that's not the sign to start. That's a sign to keep looking. The right deal will come, and when it does, you'll know. The numbers will work. You'll feel confident and you'll have done your due diligence. And that confidence, that's not arrogance. That's preparation meeting opportunity. That's when you're genuinely ready to pull the trigger. Not on any old deal, just to say you've started, but on a good deal that you've properly analyzed. That's the difference between investing and just buying property. Fourth sign, you're ready. You are mentally prepared. This is the one people forget about. You need to be ready for for things not to go to plan, stress, learning on the job, making mistakes, dealing with problems on a daily basis, and being patient. If you're expecting everything to be smooth and perfect, you are not ready. But if you're thinking, yeah, stuff will go wrong and I'll handle it when it does, that's readiness. You don't need to be fearless. That's not realistic. You need to be okay with fear and doing it anyway. You need to be okay with not having all the answers. You need to be okay with this being a long-term game, not a quick win. And honestly, if you've got that mindset, you're going to do better than people with twice the money, but half the mental resilience. That's why I'm still here. Property rewards people who can stay calm and think clearly and keep moving forward, even when it's hard. Architect's calling me. If that sounds like you, or like who you're willing to become, you're ready. Right, so here's the bottom line. The best time to start property investing isn't when the market's perfect. It's when your finances are sorted, you understand the basics, you found a good deal, and you're mentally ready. And here's the brilliant news. You can make yourself ready. These aren't things you have to wait for. These are things that you can actively work toward. Sort your finances. That's within your control. Learn the fundamentals. Completely within your control. Find good deals. Takes work, but within your control. Get mentally ready. Also within your control. So stop waiting for perfect timing and start working toward your readiness. Because once you're ready, it doesn't matter what the market's doing. You'll find a way to make it work. Right, if this has fired you up to actually get started, hit that subscribe button, guys. I've got loads more content to help you get from thinking about it to actually doing it. Let's make this happen. I'll see you on the next one.